What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It is your boy Limit of Forex, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about what happened this week and what I would like to anticipate for the next week to happen as well, following the current bullish price action that has occurred recently. If you're brand new to this channel, welcome to Ace of Trades. Hope you get to enjoy this video. What I'm going to be doing basically is just posting as much as I can to show what I'm learning in ICT terms. And if you're old in this channel, thank you for being a great supporter. Hope you get to enjoy this. Now, in this price action that we get to see, I just please stay long as you possibly can to see what I have to offer, and then you get to see what we can basically provide, what I can basically provide on my side. Because again, I'm still learning this ICT concept thing, and the more I post, the better I get, and the easier things get to happen. You know what I mean. So let's hop into it. So what I get to look for in price action are two things. Are we running an external range liquidity, which is a swing high or a swing low, or are we running into an internal range liquidity, which is a fair value gap, an order block, or an inducement, which is also accompanied with the fair value gap and an order block, or it's accompanied with a fair value gap. Now, basically, what I mean by inducement, I mean that when price action creates something like a swing low, it basically runs into a fair value gap. Now, there's three things I'd like to quickly explain about. A fair value gap is an imbalance between buyers and sellers. If it is a buy imbalance, it means that one candle creates a huge gap that price does not give the sellers. Let's say you're bullish, buyers are too strong that they can't allow the sellers to come in, and vice versa when it's selling off. I will show you guys an example of it right now as we go ahead. Order block is basically a point of interest where price reversed and continued, or reversed completely and started rallying down, but it's a series of candles that occur before a price leg impulse. And again, like an inducement is price action that forms when a fair value gap after a fair value gap, and it sometimes within a fair value gap, sometimes it's not within a fair value gap. It depends on how it gets formed. Now, what happened this current week is that we had a bullish run, and when we had the bullish run, we got the exposure of the drawn liquidity. What I had anticipated was we needed to create some sort of a bounce off the fair value gap, which was the weekly fair value gap. I would like to start on the weekly because I prefer the higher time frame to give us the narrative and what would actually happen in the near future. So when I mean by near future, I mean what would it give us in terms of of what are we seeking? Let's just say what type of liquidity are we seeking? And in this case, when we touched the support or resistance, or we can classify this as an order block, price sank into it and then started targeting the fair value gap, which is the three significant candles where there's a gap in between the candles. It also happens here where there's a gap in between the candles here as well. And when that happened, when we drop down to the daily time frame, we can basically see that okay, price action tapped into the weekly time frame fair value gap by wicking into the fair value gap and started reversing afterwards. However, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was not significant enough because there was not enough news, and then Wednesday or Thursday basically created the midterm reversal, which was it's a profile that you get in ICT's mentorship, whereby Monday sets the low, Thursday sets the high, but it stays in the consolidation area. Now that's usually a seek and destroy type of structure. In this case, it mainly was looking for the buy side or the buy side liquidity, which was part of the fair value gap. Now, bear in mind that it's in the premium side of price. So if you were to create a drop down of the two, that we basically were in the equilibrium level. If we get to give you the zone level right now, from here to here, you can see that the 50% or the equilibrium was basically formed roundabout here. and price basically was in the premium, of which we could anticipate now that price could come back into the discount because of the fact that we have sunk into a weekly order block, also a monthly order block, of which you can also see on the hard time frame, is that we tapped into the monthly order block, understanding that we are currently in a bullish run, okay, because higher time frame wins the most. So it was a monthly order block, weekly fair value gap, daily order block, potentially running for external liquidity as we speak. So now our current draw on liquidity that we'd be looking for price to run for is the external, because we've already fulfilled the purpose of running internal liquidity, and now we're running for external. For an example, this was external because we broke a swing high, price ran up, price retraced, it ran into a supply demand support resistance, whatever you guys want to call it, and price ran into it and it started running for higher prices. Now our next target is the external range liquidity. Whether they're going to play within this range, at the end of the day, price has to come up here. However, my weekly anticipation of price action is that the likelihood of it moving down first and basically sinking into this level would have basically a likelihood, I'd say a strong one, whereby the fair value gap was set, maybe run into this and then further target the external liquidity, because now we've reached a higher time frame premium array. Now we're seeking the discount array. Okay, so this last black candle is classified as an OB. For me, I classified it as an OB because this was the last black candle before this candle broke the body high of that candle. In other words, I would say this is this change in state of delivery where price has reversed on the weekly time frame. It has reversed targeting buy side liquidity or targeting highs, now significant highs. So if you guys get to understand this, I'm grateful that you understand it. However, this is my anticipation is that price next week is going to jump into this weekly fair value gap, and then afterwards price will run further and target the external liquidity after that. So we can classify this as internal range liquidity in this area right here, because it's inside this current range which was formed from that high and this low at that moment, and also it's still part of this internal structure to jump into the internal structure and then continue running. This could be lower time frame as well, lower time frame internal liquidity. If you look at it from the daily time frame, if you now zoom out this whole structural thing, right, let's just delete all of this, sorry about that. If we basically say now, okay, price has come and it fulfilled its purpose where we are now targeting this area, we have now broken structure, because that is the last high that broke this significant low and all these other significant lows before mitigating or touching into the weekly or monthly order block. Then now we started the external hunt, which is that external side of liquidity, changing the market structure, and on the weekly saying that we are currently looking for, remember now, we're seeking for internal liquidity. In the daily time frame, we're now looking for internal range liquidity, which will therefore now say, okay, price action is currently seeking for that internal liquidity, and any price action that was created to basically drive price even further. This can also be used as internal liquidity, because I've noticed that if a candle does not have a wick at the bottom or at the top, it is going to be hunted and used as a form of liquidity as well. So price could also come through to this side. So if you watch this to the end, thank you for watching it through, and I hope you guys get to understand. It is a very vague understanding of what's currently happening in price action. However, the objective is you are now going to experience another retracement into this range, and then price is going to target this significant high. If not, then basically they will run up and continue running for lower lows and targeting this low, depending on how price action is. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and enjoy the day. Enjoy your trading week.